Hey guys, happy Thursday. Welcome on into Let's Bet It. Lauren Jabara joined by two roses, a thorn between two roses, if you will. We got Alex Glaze, Jim Monis. Guys, how are we doing today?
What's up? What's up? Good morning.
What's up? Good morning. Okay, before we start the show today, some big news. Urban Meyer officially out after 13 games in the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jim, your thoughts on this right now as you had the night to kind of digest it and this morning as well.
Good afternoon, morning, whatever we are right now. Thirsty Thursday, isn't it?
Wait, is it afternoon at 10 a.m.?
I don't know. I get up so early. I don't know anymore. I lose track of time so quick during the day. Urban Meyer, I go way back with Urban Meyer as far as being around him when I was an NFL scout for the Saints in the Southeast. I scouted those Florida teams and just spent a lot of time. We signed some of those players when I was in Buffalo, signed Percy Harvin, Brandon Spikes. So I was around those guys and got to hear a lot of stories. Anybody that knows Urban Meyer and how he runs a program isn't surprised today, especially the players. It's just different. There's a lot of things that go into it, but coaching in college and coaching in NFL, completely different. Not sure what the situation was for him in Jacksonville as far as what control he had with the roster, but when you're in college, you have total control of everything. And maybe Urban, maybe that didn't sit well with him. Maybe he wasn't liking the whole setup in Jacksonville because it is different. The GM is Trent Baalke, and I don't know the relationship that he and Urban have, but this isn't surprising. I wrote about this in my column with Pickswise a couple months ago, actually, that it had it written all over it that this thing was not working. And when you have Trevor Lawrence, the number one overall pick to turn your franchise around, you're the owner, Shad Khan, and you look like this, you don't see improvement, it's a natural firing.
Yeah. Alex, what do you think about it?
Well, I think that the writing's been on the wall, and kind of the rubber met the road yesterday when you had two reports come out. One, Trevor Lawrence coming out and saying, the drama's got to, we got to get right with this drama before we can get right as a team. And then the big one for me was, Josh Lamb coming out, the kicker, and saying that, he's getting kicked and putting his name on it, on the record. And on the record, you can't just go around as a boss, kicking the dudes that are work your players. So it was just too much craziness. So I think after everyone saw that, it had to happen.
You know what, that Tim Tebow signing in the offseason was a straight PR stunt. I don't know who led that. It never had a chance, and
we were betting on it. We're like over under how many games is Tim Tebow going to be playing in the NFL, or how many minutes?
The guy never had a chance. It was a straight PR stunt, I don't know who was behind that. Was it Urban?
You know who was behind that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a distraction once again, where you're bringing distractions as a head coach, and that makes no sense.
Yeah, pretty crazy. 13 games into the season.
Yeah.
He's out.
Josh Lambo. Did I say Josh Lamb? Josh Lambo.
Jim, who do you think is going to be, I guess, the new head coach now of the team?
This is going to be the interesting, this search, because everybody's going to want this job. This is going to be who's the top offensive guy. You're going to hear Nathaniel Hackett out of Green Bay, some of these guys that are the hot kind of offensive coordinators right now. Who's going to mold Trevor Lawrence? That's going to be the key. Who has a background in molding a quarterback? And that's what I wrote about Urban Meyer. He's actually really never developed a quarterback before. He's had good college system quarterbacks for his style of offense, not necessarily NFL type guys. So I think you just got to keep you're going to see a lot of the same names, I think, but I think pay attention to the offensive guys that are going to try to develop Lawrence.
It's going to be really interesting to see how things develop moving forward. We'll definitely keep you posted on everything, but super interesting. Urban Meyer out. We'll see who's in for that Jacksonville Jaguars program. Okay, big show today. Starting off with some NBA MVP talk. Obviously, Steph Curry making history a couple nights ago. We have to break that down, right? Talk a little bit about who we think is going to be the NBA MVP. Thursday night, whatever you want to say about it. It's going to be a really, really good game between the Chiefs. They're taking on the Chargers in LA at SoFi Stadium. It's going to be really, really exciting. We got college. Oh, no, we're going to NHL. We're going right to the ice with that. We got
no college. Not yet.
I know. I'm so excited because
tomorrow.
Bowl games start. Guess what? Tomorrow. I can't even wait. It's going to be so much fun. So many bowl games to talk about. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We have some NHL Ice Picks. Lots of game on the slate tonight. And we can with our Pickswise 3-star play of the day and our best bets of the day. So without further ado, guys, let's get it. Let's bet it. NBA talk. Steph Curry making history the other night. Now the best 3-point shooter in the history of the NBA, passing Ray Allen. So many people in the stands to witness this. I think everybody and their mothers were watching this. Alex, when you were watching it and just seeing the celebration that they had behind it, how cool was that?
I mean, it was really cool. I was watching the game. I was actually washing dishes, and it was just one of those moments. After you hit the first one, I was
washing the dishes.
I just finished dinner. I was washing dishes, and after you hit the first one, because I had a bet for him to break it in the first quarter, I stopped because I'm like, okay, it's gonna happen. So I'm just watching the next. I think it was like 8 minutes left in the quarter as he was, trying to break the record. And then when he did, the first thing I noticed, one cool moment, everything, and then you see Pete Davidson in his pink sweatshirt, just in every shot. I mean, it's just funny to see, that moment in history. Pete Davidson's going to be in the background, just like that guy's everywhere. That guy's everywhere. But really cool moment. Really happy for Steph. It was really cool to see him give the ball to his dad right after, and then kind of stop the game as he, paid respect to Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, who were right there. So it was just really cool to see that for sure. And if you had a ticket to that game, hold on to that ticket.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Witnessing history. Jim, what did you make of it?
I'm still trying to figure out what Spike Lee was doing on that photo shoot.
He was getting the angles. He was getting the angles.
Man,
you gotta get the shot. You gotta get the shot.
Good friend. That's a good friend to do that. I don't know how many guys. It was just a cool moment. I was lucky enough. I saw Steph Curry play in Cleveland in that finals when they were playing LeBron. It was Game 6 in Cleveland. The Cleveland won, sent it back. That was one of the coolest sporting events I've ever been to. And Curry is just, I mean, come on. I like now that everybody's going back and looking at his draft and trying to see the teams that passed on him. That's all, because I'm so into the drafts and stuff like that. I just love
the T-Wolves back-to-back picks.
Yes,
back-to-back picks.
That's the one everybody
went guard.
Yeah, and they went guard. How do you live? You won't ever live that one down. So
let's touch on the MVP market for a second, the futures market, because right now Steph Curry is favored to win the NBA MVP at plus 140. In terms of value, would you bet on Steph Curry, or is it too early in the season right now for only plus 140? Because there's a lot of other really great players that you could maybe get better value on right now, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren, you kind of make your name for yourself with value. I mean, it's still value, right? Because it's a plus. But I guess at this point, I was kind of maybe let's get creative and see if Clay comes back, maybe his stats come off, or COVID, who knows what happens. And I always put the Joker in there, Jokic. He's plus 1,300. He still puts up MVP numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just say if you're looking for a guy that could maybe sneak in the conversation by the end of the year, maybe him. And then obviously Durant. I mean, it's hard not to. Durant and Curry are just – they scream MVP. It's hard not to.
They're on a different level than everybody.
They're on a different level.
It's wild. Absolutely wild. Alex, what do you think about the futures market here with MVP?
Yeah, I think if you're going to bet Curry, you missed the boat. I think he's plus 750 at the beginning of the year.
I know you should have done it earlier in the season.
Yeah, he's plus 750 at the beginning of the year. Plus 140 now. I mean, like Jim said, still some value because there's a plus, so you're still getting plus money there. But I see some value in Kevin Durant. I still think that he is going to win the MVP. Even though Curry's on this run, he's the guy averaging 38 and 6, leading the Nets, who, they're still without probably their second best player in Kyrie Irving, I would say.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant, he's the best scorer, not the best shooter. Steph Curry's the best shooter. Kevin Durant is the best scorer in the NBA, and he's carrying the Nets, who right now have the top seed in the East. And if he keeps playing the way he's been playing, I mean, last time we saw him triple-double, game before that, 51 points. Mm-hmm. I mean, for this to happen, you got to keep winning, got to keep that number one seed, and Durant's just been putting up the numbers. So I don't mind Kevin Durant plus, I think, what is he, over plus 200. I mean, you're getting 30 to 40.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know it is really crazy because the NBA season is so long, right? So we're only a third of the way in. So right now, I think buying in the futures market for me, I'm staying out of it. But you know what? Still good value at KD if you want to get him at plus 200. Steph Curry right now, plus 140. It is crazy looking at some of the games tonight. COVID is going around the league right now. So if you are betting any games, I would wait until right before the game to bet them, because right now you look at the Nets, they have like 7 players in COVID protocols. A bunch of other teams like the Chicago Bulls were dealing with it for a little while. So many teams on the list that are dealing with COVID issues right now. And that's not just in the NBA, that's in the NFL, that's in the NHL. I mean, it's just going around right now. So in terms of placing bets, I'd have no bets in on tonight, but you know what? If I were, I'd be waiting until before the game. What do you guys think? Because it's
I'm going to give out one later, so we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm scared now.
I said the same thing yesterday, Lauren. It's just kind of you got to wait
Yeah.
and see with the NBA, especially if you're picking sides. I think if you're going to do player props, you can probably get those in early because if
Mhm.
a player's not playing, it's a null bet and you'll get your money back. But with the sides, it's really tough right now.
Okay, let's move into Thursday night. Why can I not say Thursday? Is that
Because you want to say
tough?
thirsty.
I want to say Thursday, and I keep combining them. Thursday night football, Thursday night football, whatever you want to say. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Chargers in LA at SoFi. I am so excited for this game because Chiefs obviously got off to a bumpy start in the season. They're back to their winning ways, 6-game winning streak. The Chargers looking for their third straight win. Two exceptional quarterbacks going head to head against each other. I look at it right now, the Chargers win total, right? Over under 10.5. Jim, would you take the over on that future? The last 4 games are against the Chiefs tonight, the Texans, the Broncos, the Raiders. For me,
I think it's a good bet. I think you can go over on that. This is when, like we talk about, this is the time of year where the good teams are going to start winning. You're going to see the real teams come up now. And I think the Chargers are getting ready to make that move, although I can't wait for this game tonight. I have no clue how it's going to go. But yes, I think that's a good bet. Over.
Yeah, Alex, I see you're in on some bets tonight. Who you got and why?
Yeah, so I like the Chargers tonight. I'm going to take the 3 points. I will really like the Chargers once I find out if Austin Eckler, more so Derwin James. Once I find out if Derwin James is playing, then I'll feel really good. And Asante Samuel Jr. They're all questionable for tonight. Once I find out their status, I'll know better how I feel. But this is a Chiefs team that the Chargers already beat this season. It's hard to beat teams twice, but the Chiefs are going to be without L'Jarius Sneed, Willie Gay, and Chris Jones. Those are 3 big defensive players that will not be playing tonight for the Chiefs because of COVID protocols, injuries, what have you. So that's a big loss for them because this Chiefs defense, I feel like, has been getting a lot of credit. But when you look at who they have played over the past couple of games, their last 6 games, which they've won, right? They played the Giants, the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, the Raiders twice, the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, and the Broncos. So is the Chiefs defense good, or have they just not really played great offenses or offenses that are at full strength? This Chargers offense, completely different beast. They're getting Keenan Allen back. And I just think that Justin Herbert is going to do what he does, and that is show out in prime time and show out against the Chiefs. He has great numbers against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I honestly think their defense is so good. It's a little bit of a combination of both, right? Like you can't be that good, held teams to 9 points in the last 3 games without being decent. And even if you're not playing maybe the best of the best teams, but they're not playing the worst of the worst either, right? Like those teams are kind of middle of the road, maybe lower tier middle of the road. But at the same time, like the last 3 games holding teams to 9 points, that is pretty good. I am also on the Chargers tonight as my best bet of the Chargers tonight. I'll get into that a little bit later. That's my best bet of the day. Before that, Jim, I have a lot of props tonight, a lot of touchdown props, a lot of plus money plops, as we like to say. I'll get into that. Jim, I want you to hit me with your bets first.
So tonight with the Chiefs, I'm going to play the Chiefs. It's not a best bet for me, but I'm going to play them tonight, and I am terrified.
No, Chris, you can't go against us like this.
I hate that I am, because that's usually a recipe for a loss for me every time I have, especially Lauren with you. I know we all have learned that the hard way. But what worries me, once again, we're talking about, okay, Chris Jones. I could see fireworks tonight. I like your point about the Chiefs defense a little bit. Let's see it tonight. I think tonight could be fireworks for both sides, because here's my issue with the Chargers. They're ranked dead last in third down offense and 31st in rushing defense. Mm-hmm. So I don't like that combination to beat the Chiefs. I just think right now, Kansas City offense is fully loaded. They are scary good right now. They're running the ball. So I'm going to mix in my man, Darrell Williams, tonight. I like the way they're using him. I got a couple props with him over his rushing yards, which is like 14.5. I believe that was and his longest reception. They use him on wheel routes a lot. They try to get him the ball, and I like the fact that they're throwing the ball down the field to him. So I think those are some good props for me. But the Chiefs I still think the Chiefs. I think Mahomes, this is like, hey, this is my division. Don't forget. And I'm running through them lately. And just so you know, Herbert, you got some skill. But tonight in prime time, I'm going to show you exactly what Super Bowl teams do. That's how I'm thinking the Chiefs play tonight.
It is going to be really interesting to see how the Chiefs play, but I also think the Chargers are going to have a little bit of intensity, being
Oh,
obviously
they're loaded.
they're playing well. They're coming off of 2 good wins. They're
No doubt.
playing at home in front of a home crowd, even though they don't necessarily have the best home record at SoFi Stadium. But it's going to be a really, really interesting game. I'm on a lot of ploppies tonight. All right. I got Keenan Allen anytime touchdown at plus 138. He's back from the COVID list. He's Justin Herbert's favorite target. He sees like 26% of the team's red zone targets, which for one guy to have over a quarter of the team's red zone targets, I think it's a pretty good bet. And I think he's going to find the end zone, even if his yards are limited today. I like that at plus money. I have Darrell Williams also anytime touchdown at plus 230. Remember how bad the Chargers are against the run? Jim, you talked about it a little bit. Well, Kansas
Darrell
City
Williams, my man,
has been finding a lot of success lately with Williams, both in the run game and the passing game. Dual threat. Williams is a fun bet for plus money as well for me tonight. How about this one, though, and this value? Justin Herbert, anytime touchdown at plus 430. I'm getting that plus 430. I think the Chargers have to get scrappy in a game like this. I think Herbert's going to end up taking matters into his own hands right now. The Chiefs have allowed 4 rushing touchdowns. That's tied for second most in the NFL, and 311 rushing yards, tied for 5th most in the NFL to opposing teams' quarterbacks. So my boy Jay, he's shown that he can use his legs when he needs to use them. And with the Chiefs defense being all
Jay
over,
Herbo.
Yeah, Jay Herbie, baby.
Lauren,
what?
You sounded like a true gambler. The way you were just like, I'm getting this at plus 430. Are you kidding me? I'm stealing money. Like I'm stealing.
Like,
from
come
you.
on, just give it to me. Just put it in my hand right now. As I'm saying, but my boy Jay showed he could use his legs. And I think with the Chiefs defense being all over Herbert's receivers, he's going to be able to carry one in himself. Justin Herbert, anytime touchdown, lock it, plus 430. I mean, you could just hand it to me right now.
It's easy money.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going along with what you're saying. One of the props that I'm on tonight is Herbert's rushing total over 16.5 yards. I mean, I'm kind of looking at this. I'm looking at this from 2 angles here, because one thing the Chiefs do, I mean, obviously Chris Jones, if he can't play tonight, I mean, he's in protocol. He's not officially ruled out, right? But I mean, he's in protocol as of Tuesday. You need to test negative 24 hours apart, 2 consecutive days, right?
He's just in protocol, right? He didn't test positive. The protocol,
but I think you need 2 negative tests.
Negative tests within 24 hours of each.
Right. So the timeline is really tight. So, I mean, not looking good with the game, obviously, on Thursday night. So we'll see. But if Chris Jones can or can't go, I don't think that this is going to be a good night for that Chargers offensive line that's really struggled this year, especially when you got Rashawn Slater, their left tackle, on the COVID list as well. Not sure if he's going to be able to go tonight. So I think Herbert's going to be running a little bit for his life. And 16 yards, that's not too crazy. He ran for 16 yards the last time they played the Chiefs, and he's going over that number 3 of his last 4 games. So I'm going to take the over in his rushing total. And I'm also on the over in his passing yards. It was 284.5. Because of that loss of Snead, I think that, with him getting his weapons, Keenan Allen back, Herbert, he shows out in prime time. He just does. That's just, that's who he is. And he's going over that number 1, 2, 3 of his last 4 games. So he's going to sling it around. He's going to sling it around in prime time and show everyone that he's Justin Herbert. I mean, Kevin Durant said, I'm Kevin Durant. That's Justin Herbert.
Yeah, my boy Jay. I've still been holding on to my futures ticket since the beginning of the season. Justin Herbert MVP at plus 2,000. So maybe if he has a good game tonight, it'll move him up a little bit in that list.
It would.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some Red Hot Chili Proppers, my favorite band of all time. The Red Hot Chili Proppers. We got 4 props. You guys have 15 seconds to say whether this is going to go over, under, and a little reason why. I'm going to switch back and forth, but I want both of your opinions on all of these. Obviously, Alex, you just talked about Justin Herbert and his rushing yards, but this one, Justin Herbert over under 37.5 pass attempts.
I'm going to go over just because I think the script is just going to be, it's going to be a shootout. Yeah. And for him to get over that 385 that I need that to go over. I need the pass attempts to go up as well. So I'm going to go over for my own.
There's a will, there's a way, baby. Jim, what do you think?
No, we learned from Jared, right? When we play this game, if you just go with the theme of you see the script going tonight, I think it's going to be fireworks over.
Keenan Allen over under 72.5 receiving yards, Jim.
That one's good. I'll go over that too. I'm going to stick to the theme tonight. I think it's going to be fireworks again. And Allen they use him every which way.
Yeah. Alex?
I'm going over. He's going over that number 5 of 6 games. He had 12 targets, I think. The last time they played the Chiefs didn't go over that 72 yards, but obviously he's Justin Herbert's favorite target.
This is surprising coming from the under king, you know?
That means when I say over.
I didn't even know you knew that word, over, you know? So, okay. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, over under 54.5 rushing yards.
I'm going over. Chargers struggle stopping the run.
Yeah.
I'm going under just because the script we're saying it's going to be a shootout. The Chiefs get away from the run. He splits carries. Under.
Patty Mahomes, Alex, longest pass over under 37.5 yards.
You're not going to catch me saying under to that one. I'm going to go over because Tyreek Hill can take the top off this game at any point. So over.
Yeah, not just Hill. You can give me another 4 guys on that offense. It could
Hardman. I mean, we could keep going. Kelsey. It could be any of them.
All of them. I'm going over.
Yeah. It's going to be a really, really exciting game tonight. 2 really great quarterbacks in a shootout. I can't even wait for that one. Okay, let's take it from the field. Go to the ice, a place that's a little bit colder, but there's quite a few games on the board tonight. Alex, are you on any of them?
I'm looking right now at the Vegas Golden Knights. I like them on the 3-way money line. The Caps, if you watched yesterday's show, let me down. That was my play of the day.
You
Caps
hate
on
to
the
see
3-way
it,
money
you
line.
really do.
But then, you're not going to win too many games when you give up 3 goals within a minute. Literally within a minute.
Like, how did that even happen?
I was what was I watching yesterday? I was watching basketball, and I was scoreboard watching that one 1-0, cool. And then I literally 10 minutes past refresh, and it's 3-1. I'm like, whoa, what did I miss here? See 3 goals, 2 power play goals, and then another goal all within a minute. Unbelievable. Anyway, on to tonight. Flush it, forget it. Vegas Golden Knights 3-way. Listen, they've won 5 of their last 6, outscoring their opponents 28-16 in that stretch. The Devils struggling, also dealing with some COVID issues. So I'm just going to roll with the healthier Vegas Knights tonight and the better offense.
Yeah, and VGK has been playing really, really well. Jim, are you on any NHL games? Or are you more NBA tonight?
I just listen to you guys when it comes to hockey. And if there was hockey on, I would be watching MTV The Challenge. I'll be catching up on that tonight. So
Finale.
CT.
How do you guys both know that? I don't even watch that.
You don't watch The Challenge? Come on.
No.
That could secretly be one of the greatest. I'm being serious right now.
It's a quietly elite. It's an elite show.
Amazing. It's an elite show. Everything about that show is.
Wait, so who do you got?
Especially if you like athletes.
Who do you got? Who do you think is?
Oh man, I don't go against Uncle CT.
Okay. Yeah.
This is something I cannot put even 1 cent into. Like I feel like I've given my 2 cents. But that's what I'm saying.
I want Corey. I want CT and Corey.
No Selling Sunset. Like that's my show. Selling Sunset. We come from the house.
Selling Tampa. Selling Tampa also came out. So
have you watched? I actually saw that Netflix.
Good
Selling
show.
Tampa. Alex, did you see that? Did you?
I haven't started it yet, but I did watch the new season of Selling Sunset. Listen, I'm versatile. You got to be able to talk to everybody. So I take it all in. I consume.
Now we're talking my language.
Sometimes we just need a break from sports, get our mind off of sports betting, and give us a little reprieve, if you will. We come for the houses, stay for the drama.
Yeah, I do like to take your guys' picks. So Lauren, who you got tonight?
Yeah. Well, speaking of drama, the Carolina Hurricanes dealing with some COVID issues right now. They have a few players that are stuck in Vancouver for 14 days. So right now, the protocol is if you get 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other, obviously, if you're in the U.S., you're out of quarantine, you're out of protocol, even if you test positive. Well, the Canada protocol, you're there for 14 days regardless. It's 2 weeks straight up. So they had so much to figure out a couple days ago in terms of flying from Vancouver. Then they had a game against Minnesota Wild that ended up being postponed because Wild is dealing with COVID issues. Canes are dealing with COVID issues. That was just a lot. Finally, they're back at home. They're taking on, well, now they were back at home for a couple of days, but now they're on the road taking on the Detroit Red Wings. And I just look at everything that the Canes have gone through these last few days, and they're just ready to get back at it. They've had a few days of rest. I'm taking the Canes puck line in this game at plus 140. Detroit, I know they're, my hometown team. They played above expectations, but one has to wonder how long they can sustain being in the playoff picture, right? Obviously, last year they were the worst team in the league. They had like 26 points on the season, which is not good. and you look at their stats this season, even though they are in the playoff picture, they're in the bottom third of the league in goals per game and goals against this season. They're facing the Hurricanes, who lead the league in goals per game right now. They're above average on the offensive side of the ice. It's going to be a challenge for the Red Wings here, I think. Anderson has been rock solid between the pipes for the Canes, and you have to think they have enough depth to skate off with the victory on. Oh, they are at home. I don't know why I wrote in my notes they're on the road. That's what I was saying. They're at home, sleeping in their own beds. I think they're going to have enough depth to be able to skate off with a win on home ice, even with a few players missing due to health and safety protocols, dealing with a couple players that are still stuck in Canada right now. I know the team's actually working on getting them back into the U.S. so they can at least be at home and not have to stay there for 14 days. But the Canes come out with this one on top. I think they're going to dominate this game offensively. They've had like 3-4 nights of rest now because of those protocols. Canes puck line plus 140. Also tonight, the Avs taking on the Preds in Nashville, Smashville.
I know which side you're on. I know which side you're on before you even say it.
Well, it's because
we already know.
I'm on because I have it written down in the Google Doc, Alex.
Real
genius there, okay? You can look to your left and see Avs puck line plus 156. I've been riding high on the Avs puck line all season. I have still not lost a bet on the Avs puck line. The games, for some reason, that I don't bet on the Avs, or I just don't bet the Avs games, they end up losing. But when I do bet the Avs puck line, I have a pretty good track record right now in terms of them winning. They're taking on the Preds. Both teams coming into this game with some momentum, right? Each team has won 5 straight games, which is really good last time I checked. Separated by just 1 point in the Central Division standings. I'm expecting this to be a heated early season matchup between the two of them. Nashville, fresh off of sweeping its recent 4-game road trip. They have 3 full days off because they're dealing with some COVID issues right now. The Calgary Flames dealing with some COVID issues. So that game was postponed. So the Preds are sitting on like 3-4 days of rest as well. And with hockey, I mean, you know, like how tough the sport of hockey is. They're skating, like this gives their legs some time to rest, which could be good for the Nashville Predators, but not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. The Avs are just too good right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. They've scored 116 goals on the season. That's more than the Islanders and the Coyotes combined the entire season. 116. I think the Islanders and the Coyotes combined have like 98 goals.
Well, I was going to say the Coyotes aren't necessarily contributing.
But the Islanders, too, they're pretty good on the season. Come on now. But yeah, the Avs, 116 goals. That's just freaking red hot. Cale Makar, defenseman, 13 goals on the season. Devon Taves, 7 assists in the last 4 games. I mean, so even the defensemen are getting involved in the offensive attack. 5-game winning streak. I think they take this one in Nashville against the Preds, and they do it handily. You can't stop a train, guys. Woo-woo! The Avs train's coming through. They're going to win by 2+ goals tonight. And I'm taking it at a value of plus 156.
That's how you convince somebody. That now I'm taking both these. I like all these picks. You guys convinced me. Like, you did a good job. I don't care if they win or lose. I like the reasoning. Sounds good to me.
Have you ever seen someone try to stop a train? You just can't. You
can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. They're rolling on the tracks right now. Woo, woo. I don't know if that sounds like a train, but you know what? We tried. So, okay, save me from myself. Pickswise 3-star play of the day. Alex, hit me with it.
Yeah, so you go to the website. We got our friend Steve Palmer giving out a golf pick, PNC Championship. He's going with Team Thomas plus 200, going against Tiger and Charlie Woods.
You can't bet against the Woods.
You got to head to the website to read his reasoning, but he's on Team Thomas plus 200 as a 3-star play on the Pickswise website.
Oh, can you bet against Tiger?
I personally don't bet against. I mean, I'm not going to bet against Tiger, especially in his first appearance back. I think Tiger and Charlie show out, but Charlie's great also. Have you seen those videos? I mean, it's crazy
really
how – I mean, his swing is – I mean, I wish I had his swing. He's 12 years old.
It makes you not want. It makes you not want to golf. Like
no, it makes me want to golf, but it makes me want to be as good as a 12-year-old. So I'm not.
That's what I was gonna say.
Now, I mean, that's the great thing about golf, right? We got Charlie Woods and Gary Player. I mean, it's just like
You guys, I will say I played in this golf outing a couple months ago before I moved from Colorado here to Atlanta, and it was like the Avalanche golf outing, and I was playing in one of these foursome groups, and I was like the 5th person, but I wasn't really contributing much, to be honest with you. This family that I was paired with, that was the foursome, it was the dad, his 2 kids, and one of their friends. This kid, you guys, 10 years old, he's a 3 handicap.
Yeah, no.
A 3. I'm like, how? He's like, well, sometimes, he's like, during quarantine and COVID, we had school obviously from home. They would do their classes in the morning from Zoom and go play like 36 holes in the afternoon every single day during COVID.
That's good parenting right there.
This is unbelievable. This kid is like freaking driving the ball 270 yards and he's 8. I'm like, how?
Yeah, but he's not going to be paying for college, and I mean, so elite parenting right there. I mean, I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then the daughter is 13 years old, and she was a 6 handicap. I'm like, this is unreal, and here I am shanking the ball left.
Here you
right,
are hitting it left, right.
Yeah, but do either one of them know the percent of bets and percent of handle on the game tonight, like Jared does? No,
that's funny.
I'm not impressed. That's not good parenting.
You got to just stay in your lane sometimes. You got to understand your strengths and stay in your lane, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, okay, tonight, best bets. Jim, who you got? Because you're on NBA, yeah?
We're going NBA because this football game is too good for me. I can't wait to watch it. But NBA tonight, I like the Phoenix Suns at home. Washington played last night, kind of we know the deal with Washington, one-man team. I think Phoenix, even without Booker, this team plays defense. I love professional, good teams that show up and play defense night in and night out. I think they can cover this. I got it at 8 this morning. Not sure where it's at right now. And I'm scared to death now of the NBA because you're right. I got to make sure before this thing's official that I don't cash out. But I'm going Phoenix.
I like it. Phoenix has been red hot this season. Remember when they had an 18-game win streak?
So tough.
Forget about it. Alex, who do you got?
Well, I'm looking at the chat as we've been talking, and a lot of chatter throughout the show today. We got Brita saying Chiefs win 38-17. Eugene, Chiefs 30-27.
That's an aggressive number, 38-17.
Sam, Chiefs 33-23. 23. A lot of chatter in there, but my play of the day, I'm going with Justin Herbert to throw 2 or more touchdowns, and for the Chargers to win. That is
your best bet is a parlay. Same game
yes.
Alex,
plus 200. I got to catch Lauren. And the only way to do that is to get some plus money here. So I'm going with the plus 200 here. Herbert's thrown 2 or more touchdowns in each of his past 4 games and 6 of his last 7 games. And earlier this season when they played the Chiefs, he threw for 4 touchdowns. So we're talking about this Chiefs defense. They could be missing a couple of big pieces tonight. Herbert already dominant in prime time, dominant against the Chiefs. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs to struggle tonight. I'm going with the Chargers to win and Herbert to throw 2 or more touchdowns for my play of the day. Plus 200.
Rome wasn't built in a day, my friend, but I appreciate that. And we're on the same side of this game, which I'm also getting plus money. Chargers money line. I got it at plus 126. I'm now looking. It's moved to plus 132. Justin Herbert, guys, is the real deal. He's 3rd in the NFL in passing yards right now, 3,822. Tied for 2nd in passing touchdowns, 30. This is only his 2nd season in the league, and he's shown us what he's capable of doing. He's just going to continue to get better and better and better every single year. He's also 2nd right now in the NFL in QBR, 67.5. So I look at what he's done. 7 games thus far. He's thrown for more than 300 yards in 7 games this season. Missed the mark kind of week 14 against the Giants, but still played pretty sound football. He has a rocket for an arm. He unloaded a 59-yard bomb to Jalen for a score before halftime in that game. I look at what the Chiefs have been able to do. They have like a renewed sense of defense. They've only allowed 20.6 points per game and just 9 points per game across the past 3. But again, like Alex was saying earlier, are they actually a really improved defense like what we're seeing? Or have they just not been playing the best of the best teams? Well, we're going to see what they're capable of doing tonight. Herbert has 6 touchdowns, only 1 interception, wins over the Bengals and the Giants in the last 2. And the defense has kind of started to find their footing as well. 8 sacks, 6 takeaways, forcing 7 3-and-out possessions the past 2 weeks. It makes me a little nervous that the Chargers, are kind of relying on the 3rd down conversions, but I'm going with them on home turf, battle for the top spot in the AFC West. I just have a good feeling Justin Herbert's going to show up, show out in prime time tonight. I'm going with my gut feeling.
The Chargers they struggle against the run, but they're really good against the pass. I think they're number.
They
I
are.
think they're ranked 4th in the league in pass defense.
This game's going to be a shootout. This game's going to be an absolute shootout.
I just hope Derwin James can play. If Derwin James plays, I feel great.
I'm telling you though, betting against Mahomes is like one of the least favorite. It's like betting against Lamar.
No, but we got Jay Herbo on our side. I normally would agree with you, but I'm okay with my guy. I'm all right.
No, I'm not saying
my boy Jay on our side. Here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes is my fantasy quarterback. So you know what? Like,
so you're not really in the Jay Herbo game. Like, that's me. You're just for the win. I need 2 touchdowns and a win. So I'm believing in him more tonight.
I'm on Justin Herbert.
So he's my guy. He's my guy.
He's my guy. He's my guy.
We'll see.
We're on the same side. Why are we arguing right now? We're on the same side, Alex. We're not even arguing. We got to just stick together. Jay Herbo fans got to stick together, okay? Ducks fly together.
Ducks fly together.
I like that.
Yeah. Chargers fly together. Okay. Well, that's a great show, guys. Really appreciate you for chatting with me, appeasing me on my NHL bets. Jim, get in on the Avs puck line tonight. Get in on the Canes puck line.
I'm in. Sold
I'm
me.
super excited about this Thursday night football game. That's it for us today. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Guess what? First day of college football bowl games starts tomorrow. We can't wait to break them all down, talk about them. So make sure to tune in 10 a.m. Eastern time. Friday, fun day, Freaky Friday, whatever you want to say. We'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck tonight. Let's get it. Let's bet it.